What is up, ladies, gents, and other travelers in DeFi Kingdoms? Welcome to Crypto with Tosh. We've got an awesome topic today. We're going to talk about Summoning 101. So Gen 0 heroes are now out, and Summoning is going to be released really any moment now. It could happen any moment, and it's going to happen really soon. If you might be watching this video and Summoning is already out, but let's talk about the basics of Summoning and what you need to know to get into it. If you want to get the latest and greatest DeFi Kingdoms content, as well as support the channel and me, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And just remember, this is not financial advice. So make sure you only risk what you can afford to lose here, guys. There's a lot of money in this game now. Alright, let's hop into our content. So the first thing that you'll need to summon your heroes is that you'll have to have 2 heroes. So if you don't have 2 heroes, you only have 1 Gen 0, for example, you can actually rent one from the tavern. That will be an option. Note when you are renting, you're only renting that cooldown. You're not actually renting the hero. So think about it more like borrowing the cooldown more than renting the hero. So whether you already have your 2 heroes or you're renting a hero, let's say you also have like an odd number of heroes and you need to rent to finish that up, that's actually what I'm going to be doing, then you are ready to go once you got those 2 locked up. So what you need is they have to have their cooldowns available. The cooldowns are going to work like this. So it's going to be 4 hours for the first summon, and then for every summon afterwards it's going to be 4 hours additional on top of that. I believe this is going to cap out for the Gen 0 heroes at the highest amount. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of math on that. All of the heroes have a base summoning cooldown of 4 hours times their level, and that is an additional to a 4 hours base. So for example, the Gen 0 heroes, the first summon is going to have a 4-hour cooldown. The first Gen 1 hero is going to have an 8-hour cooldown to summon with. So it's going to be the 4 from the base, and then 4 times 1 for the Gen 1 hero. So Gen 1 hero can summon up to 10 times, meaning that we have 10 times 4 is 40 hours, plus that 4-hour base. So it is hypothesized here that the max cooldown for a Gen 0 will be around 44 hours. For some reason, I feel like that my math might be wrong and that they're going to round it to 48, or they have some kind of error there, but expect that for the Gen 0 cooldown after our first round of summons is to get about 48-hour cooldowns for it. One other thing to note is that other generations can breed with earlier or later generations, and how this works is that the offspring will be 1 generation later than the latest generation offspring that's been used to summon. So for example, if I have a Gen 0 that mates with a Gen 5, they summon together, the spawn of that will be a Gen 6 hero. So always the latest hero plus 1 for the generations. And although there are some other costs to summoning the heroes, you can always rent your hero out at the tavern, which costs nothing at all, which literally is free passive income from the Gen 0s. So that's why they are so valuable, and the market prices for them, that's only been the under the table markets right now, but they've been going for a lot more than the minting price. I told you guys, the Gen 0s are super valuable. The next thing that you'll need to summon heroes is that you will need a total of 20 tiers, Gaia's tiers. So if you did purchase the Gen 0 heroes, you were airdropped 50 of those tiers into your wallet. You should already have them in your wallet ready to go. If you want to see them, what you have to do is add the token address to your MetaMask. I put the token address in the description below so you guys have access to that. And to do that, all you need to do is open up your MetaMask wallet and under the assets tab, go under add assets, and then copy paste that link into there. You can buy the tiers on the marketplace right now, but it's only the airdropped ones that have been spread out. So they are very limited in supply. There's not many people that are selling them. The going price is what we've seen is between about $10 to $15 USD for 1 tier. So if we look at the starting base cost for that, that's going to be between $200 and $300 USD just to get the tiers. So they did make a recent change to the tiers. They used to have it so it's going to be a 1 tier for each hero, so a total of 2 tiers to summon, and then you would only collect 0.1 at a time. But they just inflated the token system. There is no real difference here. So now if you won one of those airdrops for the 2 tiers, I'm assuming that's going to be 20 tiers now because that has been inflated since then. So just note that if you won that airdrop, it's pretty cool. I won the airdrop. I'm pretty excited about it. In addition to the tiers, it will cost some jewel. The exact amounts are to be determined. I thought I saw a screenshot somewhere that showed a 20 jewel base price to that. To me, that seems pretty reasonable. So this is kind of speculation right now, but I think it will be 20 jewel base price. And in the notes, the documents, they show that the price will increase by 2 for every summon that the hero has, and for Gen 0s that will cap out as well. So I'm assuming that's going to be a 40 jewel cap for Gen 0 heroes to summon at their latest capacity. So what's cool about the Gen 0 heroes is that they have so many different traits to them, and actually for all the different heroes they have so many traits to them that can be passed down that it's hard to know like what is really going to be desirable in the market, and it's going to be really interesting to breed or summon to get things in a particular way, to get your proper genetic lineages. So let's look at all the things that can be passed down with genetics, and note that if a character has a trait that it's considered a dominant trait, it's more likely to be passed down to their offspring. And if there are also recessive traits, so these are actually hidden on the cards right now. We're not able to observe those traits, but they are genes that can actually pop up. And for example, like if I had my wizard priest breed with another wizard priest, let's say they both had a recessive gene for warriors, and they both rolled for warriors, then they could actually pop out a guy with a warrior class. So it is possible to spawn new things or new traits that are not actually shown due to the recessive genes. That's just kind of like how genetics works in general, so cool if they copied the model here. So let's look at the things that can be passed down via genetics. And again, if you have the dominant traits here, so they're being expressed on your hero, they're going to be more likely to pass down, but not necessarily guaranteed. So the first thing that can be passed down is obviously the class and the subclass. In addition, the shininess can be passed down, so 2 shiny heroes summoning will be more likely to get another shiny hero. They can pass down their elements, they can pass down their backgrounds, they can pass down their gender, they can pass down all the traits on their back. So this is going to be the stat gains, so the green stats here mean that there is a bonus to that stat. This can be passed down via genetics. They can also pass down, so if you have a purple stat, that means that they both ended up on that same category. That is something that would be more likely to pass down as well. Your profession max as well can pass down, and I even think like some physical characteristics of the hero. So maybe if you have like a cat hero, they'd be more likely to summon other cat heroes. These are not confirmed, but I'm pretty sure that these are all the possible things that would be able to be passed down. It's going to create a lot of cool combinations. It's going to be really interesting when summoning comes out and like what kind of heroes end up being desired. I know everybody's been putting like a generic cost to speculating what a Gen 1 is going to cost, but in reality it's going to be way different depending on what is being desired by the market, what the roles are, and how good those heroes are. So we will see. I'm actually going to place a quick call to action to the community out here for you smart code people. So in Axie Infinity, somebody developed a web extension where they can actually highlight over one of the axes and they can see all of their dominant and recessive genes. So I think DeFi Kingdoms is definitely going to need a tool like this once we're able to see those more clearly. I would love to see someone produce that project, and if somebody does and does it successfully, I will personally toss them 50 jewels. So a little bounty out there for anybody who wants it. So we got the summoning release coming up. I'm giving away my Gen 1 baby, my very first baby. So make sure you sign up for that giveaway. I'll put the link to the video for that in the comments as well. So check that out. But let's talk a little bit about my speculations of what's going to happen when summoning gets released. The very first thing is that tiers are probably going to be limited in supply at first. So at first, there's only going to be the 2,000 heroes questing. The community or the development team has really like made this game so there's like thousands and thousands of heroes questing at a time to adjust for that tier price. So it's going to remain pretty expensive at first. The devs actually did address this in the AMA. So they mentioned that it's likely that they're going to put some kind of acceleration mechanic in. They're not really sure what that's going to look like, but here were some of their thoughts. They may accelerate the amount earned from quests. So maybe instead of earning 1 tier from a fishing grab, for example, you might earn 5 tiers. They are also considering just airdropping people a bunch of tiers, be like, hey, you're at it, go summon, and that would be likely to all Gen 0 owners because they would be the people that would be summoning mostly. So those are all things that are likely to happen, or one of those options. Don't bank on it, but I think one of those things will happen to get the heroes flowing quickly. So it's really hard to speculate what the tier price is going to be with that big unknown factor. People are paying like $10 to $15 for one of those USD right now, but really everyone's just speculating. Nobody really knows. Take your own risk. Lots of people are also speculating on how much is a Gen 1 going to cost. So I hinted at earlier that not every Gen 1 is going to be created equally. There is going to be a big range here. My prediction on a range is going to be between 250 and 500 Joule to start off with. And this is going to decrease over time, and I think it's going to rapidly decrease over time. Again, this price is also dependent on how many tiers to get airdropped. So if we all get airdropped like 200 tiers per hero, for example, well, that's a lot, and we can pump out those heroes really fast. It's going to drop the price down, but if they're not as generous with that, then it might be a little bit higher to start off with. We'll totally see, but that price is going to drop down pretty significantly over time. So if you're hearing like 250 to 500 joules and be like, I'm never going to afford that, do not worry. Be patient, my friend. Hold on to your Joule in the bank or in the pools, and it's going to increase a little bit, and the price is going to go down. So I think in the near future, maybe the next month or two, we'll see Gen 1 price have a floor around 40 to 120 joules, somewhere around there is where I'm speculating. But rarer and more specialized heroes are going to go for more. So for example, if we have like a strength endurance miner, that's going to be super valuable because you can pump out some more strength endurance miners with that too if you get the right breeding partners. So lots of cool stuff here. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen, and I'll be here the whole way with you to get the details and share with you the information that I'm finding through summoning. Well, that's all for this one, folks. Drop your comments in below. What are your speculations for the summoning launch? How do you think the Gen 1s are going to be priced? What do you think tiers are going to be priced at? How do you think they're going to solve the the scarcity of tiers to start off with? Put your thoughts in the comment below. Would love to hear them. Anyway, that's all for this one. This is Tash signing off. Stay tuned for the giveaway and live stream coming soon. Catch you later.